Motivation or discipline? What are the differences? Why both are needed at some level, but why discipline is more important than motivation? These are some of the thoughts in my mind as I'm recording this video. So if you are into self-improvement, you are into personal accountability, you take charge of your destiny, and you take your time seriously and yourself seriously, then this video is for you. The idea behind today's video is coming from a consultation I had this morning with a client of mine who always is very successful in doing whatever he does, but then he depends on motivation for his day to get going. Like he wakes up in the morning, seeks motivation, and then things start happening for him. He's so incredibly blessed that despite of his dependency on motivation, and when he does get motivated, he does incredible things. But that motivation is very temporary in the day. So my point to him was, if you could just do kind of disassociate yourself from motivation and then focus on discipline, kind of make discipline is as the leading aspect of your approach, and from you see everything from the frame of discipline, then your life is going to be magical. That was my point. So I'm going to spend a few moments here. I'm going to document what I spoke to him for two reasons. One, is going to hopefully help you. If it does, let me know. And also that I'm going to send this video to him. So it's kind of a reinforcement to the conversation we had before. So what's the difference between motivation and discipline? Very simple. Motivation is like the gas in the engine, right? You pour the gas, I pour the gas in the car and drive, and then it drives for some time. And obviously there comes a point where it runs out. So I have to pour the gas again. Which is not bad, by the way, but again, the point here is that it's fuel. It has a lifespan or whatever. Once you use that, it's over. So while it's being used, there is a burst, big time energy, and then once it goes away, right? Then there is this crash. So as long as you're aware of it, as long as you can acknowledge it, and that's it. That's how you operate. So that I'm going to have a burst because I just got motivated, and then I'm going to crash because my motivation was temporary. It went away. Right? So I told him, listen, motivation, don't get motivated, get inspired. Right? Inspiration is permanent, motivation is temporary. I mean, and there are tons of books being written on this topic, but you get the idea. Let's talk about discipline for a second. On the contrary, discipline is a system. So you wake up and you just do a few things. For example, ever since I got, like I was 1 year old, I wake up every day and I brush my teeth. That's the discipline, that it continues that way. It happens automatically. My brain moves there, whatever, all that. I don't think about it. And one of my goals with these videos that I'm recording here in this car is to make it automatic. I'm 3 months into this now as I'm recording. 3 months, every day I'm recording, and it's become automatic. I just wake up and record. I don't even think like, how do I look, what's happening. Before it was all about cameras and lights and this and that, all that. So none of that stuff. I just record. As simple as that. It's discipline. It's a system. It works amazing. I figured out, like, for 10 minutes video I record, I just need to process about 20 minutes post-processing, like a little bit audio and all that stuff. I don't edit these videos, I upload them. It's just like a system. It works incredibly amazing. Okay. So motivation, what happens? The problem with motivation is you chase. Okay. And the more you chase, the more you are stuck. Okay. What people do, they are looking for the video of the day that motivates them. They're looking for the quote of the day. They're looking for the mood of the day to motivate them. Right? On the contrary, discipline compounds. So you wake up in the morning, you take one small little action, right? One action, whatever that is, and you do that consistently. Small, consistent action every day, it compounds. And I created multiple videos talking about this. So imagine for a second, you can't write a 500-page book or 250 pages book, but you write one book a day. Now you have an incredible, at the end of 365 days, you have a book of 365 pages. So I could not have imagined that I could turn the camera on, even though I've done 3 days, 5 days seminars and with all being recorded, you take 5 days worth of video and you transcribe that, you have some incredible content coming out of it, and good content coming out of it. But this, like recording one video a day, I have like now 90 videos, good enough to turn this into a book if I want to, if I choose to, right? So you see, one small little consistent action a day compounds the outcome, right? Okay, so what's the shift here? The shift is very simple, a practical shift. So how do we become more disciplined? You have some triggers to trigger you to become more disciplined. You set some goals, you set some schedules, then you also have an accountability partner or build some accountability systems to go from waiting for things to happen to making things happen. Okay. um, um, Again, you want to wake up in the morning and you want to run, then one example I talk about, set the environment up the night before, get into your running clothes and go to sleep, and have your running shoes next to your bed, things like that. So you want to go early morning to the gym, have the bag ready. Don't wake up in the morning looking for the gym bag, right? Simple stuff. um, that's the level. That's how you trigger. You place these things that trigger you, and then you automatically move into action. Now let's look into the difference between motivation and discipline from different angles. From a biology standpoint, motivation is nothing but a dopamine spike. You get motivated, you have a dopamine spike, and then it runs its course, it ends, and then suddenly you are back to where you started. Probably whatever you achieved in the time, it's great, but then the normal behavior comes in, right? Discipline, on the other hand, it rewires the habits in the basal ganglia area of the brain, which is responsible for muscle movement in the body. So once you turn anything into a muscle memory, it happens automatically. From an energy standpoint, right, motivation consumes. So you have to hype up the mind. Hyping up the mind involves, you have to burn some energy. Discipline, on the other hand, conserves or preserves energy. You talk to people who are constantly looking for motivation, the languaging they use is, I want to become, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to become a runner, I want to become a speaker. When people say that, that means they are changing, or there's some element of them seeking motivation. You can see it's showing up in their languaging. People who are disciplined, they say, I'm a speaker, so I speak. I'm a runner, so I run. So the shift in the identity here. So that's what we are seeking, is we want to shift, and that's where coaching, accountability, all that comes in. Um, Obviously, from a gratitude standpoint, from a leverage standpoint, motivation has a very short-term reward as compared to discipline, which obviously has um, a long-term reward and also a long-term investment. So you got to work for it to work for you. Um, Also from a stress standpoint, when you are stressed, the first thing you lose is motivation. Discipline is anti-fragile. So discipline, if you really look at this, discipline becomes stronger when you're under stress. Okay. So if I have to sum up this video, I would say, listen, discipline creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation. Motivation, and you do this properly, then motivation also, um, in a way, creates results. That those results obviously should enforce a little bit more momentum and a little bit more motivation. And as you get into that cycle, then there comes a point where you start to operate automatically. Now, if you're aware that the idea behind creating momentum and turning that into motivation, and again turning motivation into momentum, if you know that cycle and you know that you're doing that because you want to become more disciplined, then it's incredible. You reduce friction, right? you build accountability as you're going through the cycle, and then you anchor some habits, okay, to cues. So when you do these things, now suddenly you're using motivation, but then you're also building a system that's based on discipline. So you're becoming more disciplined. You're using motivation. You are putting yourself in momentum. It's amazing when you dial into this. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Hopefully, this is helpful. This was the exact conversation I had. Hopefully, it's helpful to you. If it is, let me know. Drop me a comment. That's how I'll know that you watched this video. And if you like this video, then I can reach a few more people. And if you do subscribe to this channel, then I'm in front of you every day at this point as it's going. Looks like finally I'm disciplined. Okay, wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Bye now.